Takam. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Yeah, what's good, yo? Welcome to another episode of Real Talk, where, as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. I'm your host for tonight, Pat Scorpio, the New England representative, and as always, I got my man with me. I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Yo, what it do is Shutterworth the God, a.k.a. the Gold Artist, a.k.a. L.E. Lauderdale Boss, Soul Wars Creator, Brain Gang Radio.com, in the building.
Yes, sir. Ringing in the house forever and always. And usually the next person up would be on, but he'll be on a little bit later. He might be fighting crime right now. He might be running a little late doing that. But like I said, though, he has to keep our city, safe from all the miscreants and reprobates out there. That'd be just, not doing anything constructive with themselves. So yeah, P will join us shortly. But last and certainly not least, I got my other man with me, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's fly? It's your boy Conscious Pilot, the West Coast Avenger, #1 contender, preparing for liftoff. Destination Ring Radio, twice on Sundays for P. Let's get it.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Conscious Pilot, he stays elevated above the clouds. You dig? Yeah, so that's all good, man. But yeah, we got a little show for you for tonight, man. I know the biggest thing that's been going on in boxing right now involves one, Terrence Bud Crawford and Sean Porter at WBO, which we'll get into later in the show. But definitely want to recap, the lone heavyweight fight for this weekend. Now, obviously, this past week was supposed to be Fury Wilder 3, but due to circumstances, that were not in nobody's control, maybe except Fury's. We didn't get a fire pay-per-view, for us to be ranting and raving and dropping all types of opinions about. Mm-hmm. And I kind of think the boxing world kind of missed that, because you can tell it was pretty quiet overall for boxing world. I think that not being a kind of took the sales out of the weekend, especially for this particular fight, which didn't deserve to have the win taken out of its sales, though. Because I'm talking about one Joe the Juggernaut Joyce versus Carlos Takam. Now
it's the Juggernaut, big Juggernaut. It's the Juggernaut, big Juggernaut. You gotta say that, bro.
But he definitely did come into his a theme song with that shit. That shit going, something like that.
Yeah, he did that last time too. Just now he had like the helmet and shit.
Yeah, I'm sorry though. I know Joe Joyce. You might be. I'm pretty sure you must be making some sort of decent bread in the game, bro. But yeah, that mask wasn't in the way. That was some arts and crafts shit. That shit was too big, and the eye holes in the mouth were a little bit too small, bro. You look special. Yeah. We understand that you the Juggernaut, and we all put respect on that nickname, bro. But you gotta go back to the drawing board, bro. You gotta fix that shit. This shit was like
maybe be Kane Marco, Juggernaut real name, Professor X's real his stepbrother, don't be Juggernaut yet, to the costume right.
Exactly. It shit reminded me of a scene in Meteor Man where Meteor Man's mom was making all them retarded ass costumes and he wasn't fitting, and until finally, she went through 5 of them before she actually made the right one. So that's you still got time. You still got time to to shrink the head on that Juggernaut Juggernaut helmet.
Well, he's 35, so I don't know how much time he has, but
you're also right too, though. But
he's a young 35. He hasn't been
boxing watch is a young 35. Yeah.
35 with 13 fights, I think, with 11 knockouts or 12 knockouts.
Yeah, so of course, in this particular case, the way he fights, I don't know if we can start putting this young stuff in front of his age anymore.
Yeah.
Because let's put it this way, bro be absorbing fades. He absorbs lots of fades. And
but I don't think he gets beat up or hit up too much. He did get hit with I felt like low-key he was losing this fight at least maybe the first 3-4 rounds.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he
was getting caught, but at least he was keeping it competitive. I didn't feel like
he got hurt.
I didn't feel like it was Charlo Castaño where one guy is not doing enough type shit.
Yeah, and you're right. And like I said, I mean, Takam though, I mean, I think he had a game plan. Like he was just like, you know what, man, I'm gonna bum rush the dude. I'm gonna land all types of fades on him. But Takam is 40 years old, and Takam, and you know, Takam is built like me. You know, we just brolic. You know what I'm saying? You know, just mad brolic. And if people think, you know, well, why are you saying you like me? Because I am brolic, motherfucker. That's why. So, you know, but I think with his type of muscle. And the type of worker he was trying to do, he just didn't have the stamina to keep that shit up. So basically, he made himself like a 4-round fighter. But them 4 rounds, though, he made a go out of it, though.
Yeah, know? He's like a 3-round fighter now. It seems like, you know, he was a 4-round fighter, but now he's like after the 3rd round, you could tell he was out of it.
Yeah,
like,
bro was laboring. Like, bro was, you know, taking them deep breaths in this corner, like, you can see that. Like,
yeah.
Like he was, and then you see Joyce though. I mean, Joyce is cool as a fan, though. I mean, you know, he clearly must have had fufu before he got into the ring, because you know that dude was just like he was sturdy, man. His foundation was strong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like if you eat fufu, like, you know, that's what happens. So I mean, that dude, yeah. I mean, and the funny thing too, like, everything, like he still doesn't punch that fast. Like his jab was going though. I will admit though, his jab was going, and he did look like he did throw more combinations than usual. Like usually, dudes don't be throwing them combinations like that. But this time it looked like, you know, there was a right hand fall, you know, following the jab and everything. Like he threw some combinations here and there. And Takam was taking them kind of well after some time, but like Pilot said, after round 3, it was kind of like, you know, it was only a matter of time.
he was making Takam burn energy. He was carrying him too fast, like,
right.
And then the body shots, like that's the way Joyce fights. Like he fights. His fights are like it's a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Like he lulls you into thinking you could beat his ass because he's so easy to hit. And so you'll land some overhand rights, you'll land a few jabs, you'll land some good shots. Might even press him back a little, but he keeps coming at you, and then he starts, you know, hitting that sweeping left hook. His hands are held high, so he shoots the right hand at you right there. Mm-hmm. And even though he's slow, like, he has good, like, his stance is good, like his punch placement is good.
Yeah, his fundamentals are sound. Like, I mean, it was clear. It was clear to us. Like the Dubois fight pretty much showed that his fundamentals are where it needed to be.
Did Dubois hurt him? I mean, I remember that was a good fight. I remember Dubois was you know, competitive. But do you recall Dubois hurting Joyce at all? Like, you know,
he stunned him a couple of times, but nothing too serious.
Yeah, I wouldn't even like. It was like almost those quick little buzz type of, you know, shots that you're like, oh, okay, like, oh,
yeah, there was a couple of those, but he never really seriously got him with something that.
Yeah, we didn't see Chop Kodo or nothing.
Yeah, and I mean, and Dubois definitely had the stamina, and you know, he definitely had the offensive play to actually go the distance. He just didn't have the defense to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And Juggernaut couldn't even get a jab off like that on Takam. Like, Takam's strategy was good, but he kind of burns him out with himself out too fast.
Yeah, and that's
like all the moving
and coming forward. Like Takam was really winging them overhands. Like he was trying to time him. Like he landed a couple of those things, but Joyce
he landed like 3 or 4 of them shits.
Yeah, like and you can see in Joyce's head was snapping back, but you know, and he kept on moving forward. Like, you know, what do you do with a dude like that?
I mean, Juggernaut's unstoppable, yo. Like, just like the comics, just like the cartoon, like you hit him with some fly shit, and you know he keep coming at you. Like,
yeah,
it is what it is. And
the funny thing is too is, I mean, I thought if Takam went to the body a little early, he probably could have at least done a little something. That's another thing. People don't go to Joyce's body at all. Like, not
because he come in there with that sweeping left hook. And then it's like he's so tall over you, he could just lean on you and wear you down. So it's a big risk. And the way he holds his hands, all he has to do is just kind of shift his hands down, and then he blocks the body shot. So it's almost easier to fake to the body and go with the overhand. And it works. But like you said, you know, overhand rights don't really wear you down unless you got like Salido type of power and urgency and and work rate where you could fire them shits all the time. Like these guys, heavyweights, they not throwing no mean overhands back to back like that, repeatedly.
Right.
And I think that's what you're gonna have to do to them. Like Juggernaut, someone got to come in there and really fucking have a good work rate and be prepared to throw some punches at him and get out the way. Not necessarily move all the way around the ring, but pivot, small circles, 3-foot rule, and trying to outbox him.
Yeah, and pretty much, I mean, as we mentioned before, like, I mean, like, pretty much, like, probably the last time dude really lost on that type of level was obviously because, he did the World Series of boxing stuff, and, he faced one Alexander Usyk, and Usyk pretty much laid the blueprint on how to actually beat him.
Yeah. But that was a smaller Juggernaut. That was
a smaller Juggernaut and a smaller Usyk.
Real quick, what OB said, because I was thinking, is he ready for the top 5 heavyweights, right? And I was thinking White would be a good fight, but with what you said, OB, I think Ruiz would probably be more problematic for Joyce than White would be. You think so? Dylan White?
You know what? That's a good ass fucking fight. Like,
which one?
Ruiz has the quick hands.
Yeah, Ruiz got a lot, yeah.
But this is the thing with Ruiz. Like, Ruiz, I think... It makes me think of the Stavern fight where Stavern was able to catch Joyce with some counter left hooks.
Mm-hmm.
Ruiz could do that too, but the thing is, he's going to end up standing in front of Joyce too much.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't hurt Joyce and really kind of take him out of there, like how he kind of did Joshua, where he hurts him so bad and he could kind of just dictate the fight from there. If he can't do that, I think Joyce will end up wearing him down. I mean, shit, remember Chris Arreola was doing the same thing.
Exactly, yeah. But then
Chris Arreola wasn't light on his feet, moving around. He was right in front of him and was lighting his ass up.
But the hand speed and aggressiveness would be interesting. How Joyce could deal with that, since he's such a slow, plodding fighter. It'd just be kind of a good.
And I think Arreola throws. I think he's faster than Joe Joyce, and he has he throws more combinations. But Joyce is more relentless.
Yeah, he is.
And he's bigger too. Like Ruiz is like 6'2", Joyce is like 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, 6'6". Yeah, I mean
6'5" or 6'6". Yeah, at least,
Yeah, Joyce is a big guy, and he's also pretty agile too, like as well.
Yeah, he could use his footwork. He could move about a little bit, like. So yeah, that's a good fight. I know there's several fights. I know people looking at Joyce and White, Joyce Ortiz, but Joyce Ruiz that has Fight of the Year candidate written over it.
That'd be a great fight.
Even Joyce and Dylan White, I like that fight too.
I mean, that'll probably be a tough fight for Dylan White. It's not Dylan White does have the skill to beat him. It all depends if he can either A, doesn't get worn down, or two, doesn't get his chin. It doesn't get
his chin checked. Yeah.
Those two guys hit hard. Like White and Ruiz hit hard.
Oh yeah, dude. Now the undercard. I mean, I don't know if you watched the undercard. It was kind of typical. Squashes. But there was one, I think the co-main or whatever, I can't pronounce the name, but Hamza Shiraz. You saw him? Saw him?
Yeah, I saw that one.
He looks promising. I don't know. Like, he looks big for 154, but he looks promising. Is it ready with American ties? I don't know. He might have something out there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, but of course he's with Frank Warren, so none of Frank Warren's fighters really cross over into American audiences like that. Frank likes to keep them to himself for the most part.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
He'll be at the end of their career before it's like, you know what? I think I'll go abroad.
Across the pond.
Exactly.
I'll go across the pond.
But with Joyce though, but like I said, but once Takam started, huffing and puffing, it was a wrap. Joyce kept on. He would move forward. Takam started catching some bricks, started getting knocked around, and then I know we were all probably just looking for us like, okay, what round is he going down in? Of course, my round didn't come true, and I was hoping it would come true because I was like, yo, he's already huffing and puffing. He survived the 4th round, and who predicted 5?
I did, but I think P picked 6.
P got it with 6. I had picked round 7.
So P was definitely the winner. P got the round.
At least one of us got it. I didn't want the whole what's his name Zerto shit to happen again, where damn 5 people get it fucking wrong.
Yeah, but
at least we called the expiration date on the knockout though. Like, we all said like, look, this shit better not go past 5. Just like we with the Joyce fight, we was like, yo, this can't go past 8. Like.
Yeah, like if we went back, then like I said, either that Joyce is lunching or Takam is really on his game tonight, and as playing the role.
He was at first, but
yeah, he was.
The juggernaut don't stop, man. You gotta, if you ain't got no optic blast or no damn, no crazy shit to throw at him, like.
Yeah, if you can't control his mind or some shit like that, yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah, he's a hard guy to dissuade, and the
way he take the punches, you think he fight with the mask.
Facts. But the thing is, though, people were saying that stoppage was premature. Yeah, to me, it was not premature. Like it's Takam.
I could see it, but I think it looked premature because Takam got upset right away afterwards. So people assume like he could have fought longer. But like Pilot said,
but you can't be taking 15 unanswered punches like that.
He didn't throw back. He didn't throw back for at least.
You can't have 15, 20 unanswered punches land on you in a fucking row. Like
So take a standing 8 or something. I mean, I don't know. Take a knee. Fuck.
Yeah, you either got to take a knee or you got to hold or
throw
you
a punch back. Shit.
Throw a punch back. At least throw something back.
Yeah, I'd rather you do some Zav Judah shit and like tackle the guy, like turn that shit into a Quendo bird or something, like.
Yeah, because I know them English referees, man, because like I said, they're notorious for stopping the fights like early. But in this particular case,
I blame Takam. His reaction is what made people feel like it was stopped early.
That was to me it wasn't premature. I think it was. It was on.
I don't really have nothing wrong with the stoppage. Like you could say maybe, but he was starting to get lit up. Like what the fuck? He got hit. He got knocked across the ring with the first punch of the round. Like nigga got hit with the juggernaut punch.
Right.
I thought I was playing what's that shit from back in the day? X-Men, Children of the Atom. Marvel superheroes, like juggernaut punch. Knocks a dude way across his damn screen.
Yeah, that shit was dope, man. But
like, what do you want from me? Like, throw back.
Yeah, but dude just did not give himself enough of a chance to win. Like, you got to throw something back out and make sure the referee that you're still engaged in the fight. But you don't do that, don't be surprised when that shit gets called off. And that's exactly what it did. And that's what happened. And, you can protest all you want, but yeah, that was a clear stoppage. It's either that or you was going to go down. Like, you gotta cut the bullshit.
Facts. But he seemed like he was a good sport about it afterwards. Him and his Joyce mom were chilling and talking. Right. He didn't seem too pissed off about it. So all in all, I think deep down he probably felt like, I wasn't throwing enough punches back. Hey, it is what it is. Like I felt like we got a decent consolation prize out of the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. Like it was a good heavy, and like I said, it was a heavy fight between two. Like I don't know if you want to call Joyce a prospect. He's definitely a contender now. After the Dubois fight, he's definitely a contender.
Yeah.
And then and you got Takam, who's at least who's actually been in the ring with some of the top guys already. So it's like it was a damn good heavyweight fight. I'm definitely not mad. I watched it. But yeah. So it's like, where do you go for Joyce? Because like I said, as we mentioned before, Joyce is he's 35. He's definitely going. They have to move him along fast. Like he can't. There's no such thing as a long layoff. Like, dude probably needs to get one more fight in this year, at least.
Yeah, we'll see. Shout outs to Adari Penat.
Yeah, Adari Pettit. So, and the question is, does anyone think the Bridgerweight division is going anywhere in boxing?
Nope.
No, it's not. not in the least.
Yeah, no.
The Bridge.
Y'all not gonna just throw away Chris Bird's career like that. Fuck that. Look, if he can fight, Jamil McCline and have a 65-pound, weight disadvantage, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, like I said, the Bridgeweight, honestly, the Bridgeweight division in theory is bullshit because let's put it goes from it's 190 something to 224. Like I know
that's like prime heavyweight weight.
Yeah, that's why it's like, that's why I'm glad the WBA for once, IBF and the WO are like told the WBC to get the fuck out of here with Bridgerweight. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's not division like, I mean, cruiserweight. I mean, they expanded cruiserweight for what it was. You know, they expanded it from 190 to 200, and for the most part, like the shit works. Like, I mean, it's not like it's not like every small heavyweight. Like Deontay Wilder is weighing. He weighs as much as the 70s, 80s heavyweights of yesteryear. And this motherfucker knocks people out with one fucking punch. So it's like, I mean, and David Haye was a cruiserweight. Dude gained about 15 pounds and was, and you know, it had Valuev, who was about 100 pounds heavier, in some trouble when he won the belt.
He almost had him in the end of the fight. And shit, every time you see the damn sparring with Wilder session, you see him have Wilder on damn Bambi legs.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course, even another example, you have Steve Cunningham. Steve Cunningham was a cruiserweight, and then he was a light. You know, he was a lighter heavyweight, and he almost knocked Fury out with one punch.
Mm-hmm.
Facts, like
that's been
he
on the internet.
fell down like a damn Sentinel from X-Men, yo.
Yeah,
that shit was like timber.
Exactly. So yeah, the Bridgerweight. And the fun things too is, like, I mean, the only time you hear Bridgerweight now is you hear some of these other, like, the smaller card countries, you know, like, and they have their own GameStop version of the Bridgerweight title. But the official, and then they had the eliminated. I do admit though, the Bridgerweight eliminated. They had the one in Russia with Kudryashov, you know, that the Russian that absorbed all types of fades. That shit was a dope fight. But that motherfucker has been fighting at heavyweight, you know, or cruiserweight and heavyweight. Like, he could pick a division. And I know there was supposed to be a belt between BY, Brian Jennings, and Oscar Rivas, too, for the Bridgerweight title, which I think is just like, but I know it got postponed. It was supposed to happen already. I know it got postponed for like maybe later this summer or some shit like that.
Postpone that shit indefinitely, at least for the title's sake. Like, let's make that a regular fight. Like, I had a first fight at heavyweight, then y'all want to damn say, you know what? Let's make a new division for it. Like, no, wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ring Gang was in the house for that, right?
Yeah, I was in the house for the first one because it's funny too. It's like, because I read so much about Oscar Rivas, I was just like, you know, let me see what this dude is all about, though. And dude was a beast. Though. Dude did his thing though. And I also got to meet BY afterwards, man. You know, shout out to BY. You know, he's a cool dude.
Shout out to BY Jennings. I always feel like he was the one that really exposed that Vladimir Klitschko was getting a little long in the tooth.
He was. Yeah, he definitely
I always felt like he was the guy that first let everybody kind of know, like, yo, Vlad getting up there in age.
Yeah, he honestly, to me, he was like 3 rounds away. Because I remember I thought he was winning up to like round 9. I was like, man, he was 3 rounds away from actually winning that belt, win those belts off Vlad. Like, he was so close. But I
don't know about all that. Like, he gave a good account of himself, but I don't know if he was, you know, where, you know, Vlad was in danger of stealing, like, getting an L, but he made Vladimir look real normal that night. He did. You know, he looked normal, but at least for the first fucking 9 rounds.
Yeah, no, to me, it was a close fight, but I think Vlad managed to finally pull away, near the end of for those last rounds to win the fight, and he won the fight to me. But
and I think that's the experience played a factor.
Hell yeah, for sure.
But I always like Brian Jennings. I wish he, was able to do more in his career and get more fights, because he always give a good account of himself, and he's still Luis Ortiz's best fucking opponent. Win.
By far, and probably best win by far, yo. But yeah, it's definitely like he's the only person that's actually went the distance with Joyce to date. The only one. He's a good quality guy, and hopefully he gets away from the Bridgerweight shit, but he probably won't because it's a title, and Oscar Rivas at the top, and the first fight was actually pretty good. Like this fight doesn't need the title; it just needs them to fight at heavyweight where they've been.
Just pay him some decent money. And let that shit go.
Absolutely. For Joyce, obviously too, it's like Joyce needs to hopefully they move him quick. And Takam, I feel Takam has probably come to the end of his rope. Like he's getting, like I mean, you can put him against lower level competition, but I don't think he's gonna really beat a top contender again.
He's
And that's he beat lower competition. He was on like a little win streak.
Yeah, because one
fight.
of his fights was on during the whole series on Top Rank, like during the bubble. So like I remember, like he had wins or whatever, but it's just like I just don't see him causing winning another big fight. Now that he's actually really won any big fights lately, anyways. To keep it a buck.
But if you want to finish his career with a win, more power to him. I can see him still accomplishing that, and take his walk off into the sunset. He provided a good amount of action in his career for the fans. And I appreciate that. So
yeah, I mean, he's a long ways from the days when he knocked out Michael Grant and France Botha and shit like that. And
yeah,
those days are like long.
Those names often shit.
Yeah. Oh man, no, but
so that's about it on that. But
yeah, and then also, I mean, obviously.